What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of Acoustic Chef. This is your boy D-Real.
And this is Damn Gina.
This is Capel.
And this is your girl, Ebony.
What's going on, people? How y'all doing?
Man.
How are you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
And I'm straight, man. In case the people out there didn't know, my whole family ended up catching COVID-19 or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And it's been crazy. It's been kind of like, I guess, like the flu, really. And I can't say like a bad flu or nothing. It's just been kind of like maybe a typical median type of flu or whatnot. But everybody had different symptoms. Yeah.
Was your body aching?
I really had, not really, you know what I'm saying? Not like a typical flu body aches or whatever. What I really had the most was like, I had like dizziness, like on and off. And then like phlegm. I've been very mucousy or whatever. Had diarrhea for like, I don't know, maybe like an hour. that was crazy. I know. Because normally if you get diarrhea, you know what I'm saying, you in for the ride for like maybe a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we gonna sprinkle in a little bit of everything.
That's what it seemed like. Then my sweet receptors, they've been out of whack. But me and my son, we kind of like, I don't know, we kind of went through the same thing. My wife, she had I think hers was a little bit different. She had headaches, you know what I'm saying? My other daughter, she lost her sense of taste and smell or whatever. So it's like we've been going through it all, except for, you know, we haven't had no like pneumonia type symptoms or nothing.
Oh, no problems breathing.
Nah.
That's good. And no major loss of weight?
No, none of that. Been lethargic though, you know what I'm saying? Just want to chill out in bed all day and stuff like that or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Well, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're recovering.
Glad you're feeling better. You and the fam.
I was worried for a minute. I was like, oh, what is happening? So you lost your sense. You said you only lost your sense of it's like tasting sweet?
Yeah. I mean, I could still taste it, but it was like it wasn't on 100. You know what I'm saying?
But it wasn't the other taste. Like you could still taste salt. Yeah. You could just the sweetness was the problem.
What? We had something that she cooked, I think yesterday or whatever, and it was like extra salty. But she said she seasoned it like normal, so I don't know if, you know what I'm saying?
Your glands are picking it up.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, if it's messing with your taste buds.
Yeah.
So have you pinpointed how do you think just regular life is how you think you caught it, or anybody else that you know?
I seriously doubt it was me, and I don't think it was my oldest daughter because she showed symptoms last or whatnot, even though she works around people. Me, I don't come in contact with people, you know what I'm saying? But we sent the kids back to school or whatever, and then my wife has been going to to a boxing gym or whatever, taking, you know, working out and stuff like that. So it either came from her or from the kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kids are dirty.
They are.
Right. Well, I was talking to the school today, the high school, and I was having a discussion with the AP, and she was saying that they've been having issues with a percentage of kids whose parents been telling them they don't have to wear masks, and so they be having to kick them kids out of school and send them home or whatever. That's crazy.
Yeah, we got a lot of problems at our school. That is not one, thank God.
Yeah,
I have a couple of students who every single day, every 5 to 10 minutes, I'm like, pull your mask up, pull your mask up, pull your mask up.
We have that. We have that problem. Like, you know, just telling kids to pull their mask up.
To wear it properly.
They wear it like
flat out defiance. We really hadn't had that. Like, you know, they'll pull it up. You know, it's almost like redirecting kids for the same things you redirect kids for on a regular basis
Exactly.
because they kids. But the flat out defiance, like I ain't gotta wear a
Yeah.
mask, as my mama say so. We not have not had that, thank God,
Man,
because we got
that's
enough to deal
stupid.
with. That's the last thing we need to deal with is straight up defiance and not want to follow that particular rule.
I think it's the demographic thing because my daughter's school, she sent me a video and I actually should show y'all, put it on our page. I don't know. It's a kid though that came to school with a cape, a Trump 2020 cape, and the
What the
kids don't
hell?
want to, yeah, and they don't want to wear their mask and because it's infringing on their rights. So I think it's a demographic issue. My son's school, we don't have that issue, but my
Demographic.
daughter's school, we do.
It's a demographic issue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
Yeah,
agree.
but at both schools we do get alerts all day about, the increase in COVID, So and it says, oh well, your kid hasn't been around that child. Like, yeah, right. How do you know? So
Crazy, man. I've been out of the loop or whatever, man. What's been going on? Y'all gotta catch me up. I don't even know who the president is right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
nobody
You
knows.
and me both. Before we even get to the president, I want to tell y'all this wild ass story that happened to me this morning.
Oh,
So,
I
and
heard
oh,
you had
yeah,
tore up somebody's car on the way to
oh,
work.
that
you know
story.
what? See, I don't even know how you know.
Cooper knows everything. I
Clearly,
know everything.
but so all y'all kind of know, but you don't know, like you don't know what really happened. So
What really
I'm gonna
happened?
keep it short. I'm gonna keep it sweet. But so I'm on my way to work. I'm in the turning lane, and it's a truck that's stalled, not moving. It's a car right behind that truck, a SUV, and then I come behind that car. So I jump over, like any normal person would, so they can continue going. And as I get parallel to the SUV that was in front of me, she moves over, sideswipes me, hit me. All right. I turn around to get in the lane where the truck is, to get out of traffic so I can go ahead and get my stuff ready, exchange information or call the cops, file a report, whatever. So as I pull around, she's upset. She's like, "You didn't see me asking to get in?" I didn't respond because, like I say, it's not my job to see you. It's your job to see me because I'm in the lane already. But anyways, so I get my insurance and I pull up the phone number for the police station, but I didn't call because I was gonna ask her, "Hey, how you want to handle this? Let's talk first." As I'm about to roll my window down, she pull off, fled the scene, hit and run. Hit and yes, that's what happened. She fled the scene, but I was quick enough to turn and catch a license plate, and I jotted it down, went and filed my police report and everything, and so they're gonna take care of it. But I wanted to bring that in because like, is this the America you want to live in? This is Trump's America right now. He's still technically the president. Is this the America you want to continue to
Yeah,
live
hit and
in,
runs.
where people can hit you and leave and think it's okay?
Got a
But nah, that
question.
was a wild morning. What's up, man?
So Eb is a Houstonian. Me and Capel, we transients, and Gina, how long you been in Houston?
I kind of grew up here. I went back and forth, but I'm a Houstonian. Like
Okay.
I,
Well,
I
we all
know my way.
Houstonians. Me and Capel, we what 12 years in or whatever, something
Something
like
like
that.
that.
And
Have you
so
been through a hurricane or crawfish festival
well,
or
see,
you're a Houstonian?
it don't have nothing to do with my question. No, it don't have nothing to do with my
Okay.
question. We Houstonians, but we also grew up screwheads. We grew up on screw. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to Robert Davis. You know what I'm saying? And Capel just conjured up some memories when he mentioned the turning lane. Before moving, before moving to Houston, we was like, damn, it's going down in the turning lane because boys was getting brain in the turning lane. It's going down, and we
Oh
popping trunk
my.
in the turning
What?
lane,
Yeah,
banging lanes in
yeah.
the turn. We doing everything. I'm like, damn, man, it's going off in the turning lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's so big about the turning lane?
I don't know. I wasn't a part of the turning lane culture and activities.
Nah,
Oh,
that's
that's
what it
funny.
is,
That's
man.
funny. I didn't know where you was going with that, but yeah,
Leave it
that
to
was
D.
funny.
Will. He can find a connection.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So what's up with my boy, man? I seen before, but like right before the election and stuff like that. My boy posted a picture. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I just had a great meeting with at the real Donald Trump. And I like what he's done so far with criminal reform. You heard me? The platinum plan is going to get the community real ownership. You heard me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what is wrong with him?
Like,
Isn't it
is
ain't
it?
surprising though. He said, what is it, like a year ago or 2 years ago? He said something about, there's no such thing as systemic racism and cops don't profile and all of that. And I'm like, dude, you from like New Orleans.
So
Like,
He
so
really?
said Black Lives Matter doesn't affect him in any way. There's no reason for him to support the movement or come out in support of it because
I'm
it doesn't affect him and it has no bearing on his lifestyle. So,
so
and
this
he's probably right. I mean,
so when somebody is enlightened, I don't like to shun them for the past things that they done and said and stuff like that. But I don't like 180s. Like ain't no 180s. You know what I'm saying? Like Puffy came out and said what he said, and he gave an explanation. He did a whole interview. Ice Cube has done several interviews and stuff like that. This dude here, like you say, everything that you saying, he's exclaimed several times that he doesn't want anything to do with politics. He don't want anything to do with any type of movement. And then all of a sudden, bam, you know what I'm saying? You went and visited with Trump, and his plan seems legit and all that. Man, sit your ugly ass down
Yeah.
somewhere.
And
You
it's
know
all
what I'm
about
saying?
timing. Trump's
Yeah.
campaign sent, letters out to a lot of different rappers. I don't know if y'all saw the video of him saying, this is a great rapper, Little Pimp. And it was
Yeah,
Pump,
exactly. Lil
you know.
Pump.
Pump.
So he's, and then another, I can't even remember. I'll have to look in my Instagram archives, but another one, he actually posted a letter that Trump was reaching out to him. And so, I mean, it's all about timing, and that shows what they think of us as a Black community.
So,
That, if you get on the Black rappers at the last minute, we'll get your last minute vote.
I mean, it's one or two things in my opinion. One, they are getting paid to do
Yeah.
this. And they getting paid handsomely. And it don't matter that they already got money, because money talks. I don't care how much you got. Money still talks, especially when you talk about a billionaire. People say this man broke. That man ain't broke. Donald Trump is not broke. you know. So either one, they getting paid and they just selling their soul and they doing what they doing for money. Or they're just that naive that they how do you not realize that this is a ploy against black people and you're a puppet? Like I refuse to believe the second one because it's too obvious. Like Lil Wayne not a stupid dude. He's informed enough to know what is happening. So for me to believe that he's just naive, nah. I feel like
No,
that's,
he's
that's
not.
there's money. There's money involved.
Bro, the
You know,
dude said, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the dude said, like Gina said, there's no such thing as systemic racism. Now, he sat up there on his show and told a story about when he shot himself in the chest when he was, I don't know, between 9 and 12 years old, something
Yeah,
like that, however old the
believe.
dude was. So he shot himself in the chest, and he celebrates this cop named Officer Bob that rushed him to the hospital. Yes, I celebrate Officer Bob too. Thank you, Officer Bob. But he also talks about the other several police officers that was there that left him for dead. That when they rushed through the door, instead of calling the ambulance or whatever to try to save him or whatever, they looking for drugs and guns in the house or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This a damn kid laying on the floor dying. You know what I'm saying? Bleeding profusely, and they concerning themselves with other bullshit that could possibly be going on. They don't have nothing to do with saving this man's life. You know what I'm saying? And this police officer, which he does need to be celebrated, and he tells a story about several times that this specific officer looked out for people in the hood that could have made arrests, but he didn't. He chastised them. Man, that's lovely, all that's cool. But what about those other officers? You negating the fact that they exist? You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
And it's
He's
crazy
out of
because
touch.
he would be one like so many others who would say, oh well, you can't forget about the good cops and just focus on the bad cops. But the problem with what that statement is, and when you think about what you just said, is the cops coming in somebody's house who called them because I'm shot and I'm a kid, and they come in the house to look for guns and drugs. Is that not a product of the system? Or like if you really think about it, if you're not trained to do that, it's not a product of the system. Like what you do, what you see normally, or what you do normally, or what's ingrained into you is just the system that you're in.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes with anything, even in education. If you got a school that all they do is suspend kids for discipline, that's a system issue. The individual teachers in that school, some of them may feel like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to write a referral. I don't want this kid to get in trouble. But other teachers may feel like, I'm holding them accountable. I'm going to write a referral. They're going to get in trouble. That don't make them bad people, but they're doing it because that's what's ingrained in that system. So when you talk about, oh, well, you can't blame all the cops because some good or some bad. No, people are a product of their system. And you have some people who recognize that and they go against that. But then you got some who recognize, who are hateful, and they delve deeper into it. But most of them just do what they think their job is. So if your system is not right, if your system is systemic, if it's systemic racism, or it's not built right, then the majority of the people that's in that system, they are going to follow suit. And that's the problem.
Straight up, bro. I can't rock with Weezy no more, bro. Only way I'm gonna support them if they remake Gremlins or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll support them.
Yo, cancel culture.
I mean, I canceled him a long time ago when he said, I don't support Black Lives Matter. That shit ain't got nothing to do with me. And I was like, you ugly. What the? Yeah. Really? Like, it might not have anything to do with him directly, but you have a platform. You have, all these followers. I don't know how many, thousands, millions, maybe. I have no idea. But when you have a platform, you have a responsibility. At least I think so. And for him to say that kind of, first of all, it infuriated me. Secondly, I felt like, the people who were doing the work, they ought to be offended as well, because you're trying to invalidate everything I'm doing because you have money. But if you didn't, and you look like that and you got stopped, probably the same thing that happened to so many others would happen to you. And then what? And if the cop didn't know who you were or that you had money, the same thing would happen to you. So please, if you don't support it, that's fine. But shut the fuck up and go sit in the corner somewhere. Like, don't say anything about it. You don't have to support it, but don't invalidate all of the work that's being done. Sit your ass down somewhere and do whatever you're doing.
So cancel culture, people. This is a reason to cancel somebody. Like, you don't cancel Ice Cube. Like you just, like, if you look at what the situation with Ice Cube, that's not a cancel situation. Puff Daddy, that's not a cancel situation. This is a cancel situation. There are several pieces of evidence that you can pull up that shows that he is not for us as a people. He's for himself. Mm-hmm. He's profiting. He's profiting off of all the people who feel what's going on, but because it don't affect him, you got a right to feel that way. But now let's stop supporting you. Let's just stop supporting you. You got your millions. You probably set for life. That's good. But we don't have to engage in helping you out no more. We don't have to support you and speak well of you and give money towards whatever you're doing. Just cancel that for you.
His audience is different now anyway. So he's pandering to them.
Whatever.
Ugly ass. I had to say it since everybody else said I had.
Is he even relevant? Like, when was the last time he was like really relevant and in the industry? I don't know what he's doing. Like, I don't know. The last time literally was the interview I saw where he was like, I don't care about Black Lives Matter. What? Okay.
Yeah, he's been on a few features. I heard something lately. He
had an album.
Last year?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But I heard something recent too. So he's doing a little bit here and there. I mean, he's skateboarding and with his new woman. So.
Nah, she just broke up.
She broke up with him. After the comments. Yeah, she left his ass.
Smart woman.
They stopped following each other and everything.
Smart woman. Okay.
I wonder who is the person responsible for keeping up with who follows who? Because as soon as the celebrity couple breaks up, the first thing people say is, "Oh, they don't even follow each other anymore." Like, Who's
I think
checking
it must
that?
be an app. I think it's an
Who's
app for that. Shade Room or somebody must have an app
I
that
mean, like,
tells
whose
you.
job is it to?
Exactly.
I guess it must be the shade room,
How much that job paying? Is it lucrative? I can do
right?
that. I can
Who
work.
checks?
Right?
My boy in Mississippi changing it up. So he told me some of the stuff that was on his ballot or whatnot when he went to go vote, and of course Kanye, the 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 birthday party
Birthday
was on
party.
there. Phil Collins was on the ballot.
Wait,
I
wait,
can feel
wait.
it.
Hold
Wait,
on.
who?
Phil, I can feel it coming in the air
Yeah,
tonight.
but
Phil.
Lies, lies, and
wait.
lace fronts.
But
You
Is
was
this a
it
lied to
that?
person?
me.
Is
It
this a
was
person
a
that just
Phil
got the same
Collins.
name?
Yes.
It can't be the
Okay.
Phil Collins.
No, because he said Phil Collins did follow it up with one of Phil Collins' songs.
Right.
Like, so it made it seem like it was really him.
I mean, I might have voted
I
for
don't
him because
know
I
if it,
love Phil Collins, but what?
nah, he from the the prohibition party or whatever. I don't think I don't think that's the same dude. I thought it was though. But
Why is he even a citizen? I thought he was from like Britain, and he was. I don't even. Is he even a citizen? Like he
You
can't
know,
be.
that's a good question. But I mean, I guess it don't matter because it ain't him. But yeah.
Don't matter.
and then also on the ballot, was should we change, like, are y'all okay with the new flag or the old flag or what? Which that shouldn't even be on the damn ballot. That's like are we saying yes to racism or no to racism because their old flag has the Confederate flag woven into
Right.
the flag as well or whatever. So that I'm like, did y'all do a vote on the first one? You know what I'm saying? Like that's
I
crazy.
mean, it's crazy how some things are still in law. Like
Yeah.
I saw on in Nebraska they had to vote to remove slavery um rhetoric that's part of it was amendment to remove slavery rhetoric in something. I can't remember what it was. And it was just to remove it because it's still there. And
Yeah.
it passed like 60 something to 30 something, but there was like 270,000 people in that 30% that voted to keep it.
Yeah.
That just tell you where we are still.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you would think that at least 90% or more of this country would say, you know what, slavery is wrong. Even if they felt like black people were inferior and they hated us and they didn't want to mingle with us, you would still think, let's not treat people like dogs. Let's not treat them like animals. You would think that. But even after all this time, you still have that many people who is okay with slavery. And I mean, it's not like I didn't know it, but when you actually like have something that measures it, like a true measure of it, it's just like, God damn.
Hey, bro,
Yeah,
that's
well,
why I
when you
don't.
go in that voting booth, you get to be who you are. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
that 90% would have said something different, but they go in that voting booth and they speak what they really feel. So,
Yeah.
that's why I don't care about validation from these people. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
I'm not asking for permission. You know what I mean? Like we beyond that. I'm here. Hey, whatever you want to do, like let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like forget those people for real.
Why I'm interested in why it was even why the rhetoric was even still there. I mean, slavery's outlawed, it's illegal, so
Why
why
is
not
it
just
voted? Why is it a
It shouldn't
why
even
vote?
not
be a
just take it
vote. It
away?
just
Right,
take
it shouldn't be a vote.
exactly.
Just
Just
take it
take it out.
off. What the hell? But you know what? There are a lot of laws that are on the books from a long time ago that are still on the books and nobody even realizes it until somebody takes a good look and they're like, wait a minute, why is it still here? Usually they
yeah.
just do away with it. Why is there a vote? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things like, and even though I feel like they can just do it, but there's certain documents, like a lot of things I feel like need to be removed. Honestly, I just think the Constitution needs to be thrown away
It
and
needs to be rewritten.
whatever. But my thing is, there's a lot of things that they say you can't touch until everybody approves. And just like with HOA, there's a lot of neighborhoods, even here in Houston. If you go back, a lot of now they're black neighborhoods, but they couldn't live there at first. And if you go through the deeds and the deed restrictions, blacks, it specifically says that blacks
They
can't
can't
live
live
there.
there exactly.
So, I mean, but that rhetoric and that verbiage is still in those deeds, even though we don't practice it
Well,
or those neighborhoods don't practice it.
they say that it's not none of it is enforceable. So that's the reason why it's still there or whatnot. And it will cost more money to to get
To
that
take it
stuff.
off.
Exactly.
Oh, I have
That,
Microsoft Word. I can do it.
that's what I was about to say. Like, how in the hell would it cost more? And I know that they have a reason, so I'm not
Just
like
delete,
asking.
delete, delete.
But
Are you some
exactly,
whiteout?
it's
What the
paper.
hell?
It's a document. Just change the shit.
That's not the American way. You know that you have
Of
to go
course,
to
it's not.
court.
I know that.
You got to file documentation for everything or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you got to file documentation to get married. And all
Yeah.
that. All types of
Well,
shit.
yeah. Well, I
But
don't
that
buy
shit,
that for
but you
like
can change
HOA
that
and
shit.
deeds. But
Yeah.
yeah, but maybe the Constitution, yeah. But everything else, all you got to do is just print something out. It's like a
Honestly,
lease.
as far as the
Hmm.
Constitution goes, though, I mean, minus if it was inclusive, if it was all inclusive, like, is it really a bad, piece of legislation or whatnot?
I don't care if it's bad or good. Throw it away, burn it up, and let's start over with the
It's
people that
it's a
should
Yeah,
have something to do with it. Let the
it's
Native Americans and the blacks,
Blacks.
the blacks, like they say,
it's a
The
we
blacks
should.
symbol
have a say.
of inequality. It does the rhetoric on it. If you just read it for what it was, like, and it wasn't the Constitution, yeah, you would say that this is a good piece of legislation. But it's a symbol. So because it's a symbol, it's always going to have a certain meaning. If the Constitution was to be, if that was ever to happen, it would need to happen. Like, I don't even think that's something that is going to happen in any lifetime, anytime soon. But it would need to happen because that piece of paper would make like everybody that's involved now feel like it's for us. Because when that was
Yeah.
written, even though it doesn't say specifically white people, we knew who the hell they were talking about, and people still use that legislation. They think that way still. So
Well, we know who was 3/5 of a man. We know that I'm an amendment to the Constitution. I'm
Yep.
not in the
yeah,
Constitution.
Yep.
So yes, as it is written, it is bad literature. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I don't fuck with the national anthem because of the second stanza. Yeah, the
yeah.
first is wonderful. But I wasn't in mind when you wrote that second part.
Nope.
So I don't care that we don't sing the second part. Get rid of it.
I was gonna ask before you said that. What we changing the national anthem to? Because lift every voice is
Well,
free. That's not gonna
we
work.
have one. We got the black one. We have Lift
Nah,
Every Voice.
nah,
Oh, it's
nah,
dope. I love it.
I
we need
like the
some.
song in general, but I mean, I feel like the national anthem could just be a new song altogether. Like, we can still, as black people, have our own national anthem if we want to use Lift Every Voice and sing, but just create a new national anthem. Just create a
Like
brand
for
new
the
one
whole
for the
country.
country. Yeah, just for the
Inclusive. Yeah, for
country.
everybody.
It's
Maybe
something for
Lil Wayne can
everybody.
write it.
Oh, hell give me something
Real
from
G's.
give me
Real.
something from Sunday service or something. Let Sunday service come up with something.
No.
I like the black national
He sounds
anthem.
good.
Y'all don't
I
like
do
Sunday
too.
service?
I think it's very inclusive. If you go through the words, it's for everybody. It doesn't
Lift every
even
voice
just,
and sing
yeah.
Yeah.
to let the
Oh, that's
heaven
what's up.
ring.
I'm
Lil
gonna have to go
Wayne.
listen to it or whatever. I don't like them old songs though.
I
Not
like the
that.
song. The song
It's
itself
got
is a powerful song.
and
I
it's
like
got
it.
lots of stanzas as well. We only sing like the first part, but it's a
I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to
pretty
I'm gonna have to check
it's
it
like
out.
three. It's like three verses, right? I think it's
Maybe.
like three
I don't know.
verses.
When
Whitney.
when I was in elementary, we had to learn all of that because I went to all black school, so we didn't pledge
I had
allegiance to
I had to
the
learn it for
people,
them Black
the other
History
people.
Month programs.
Yep. I sang it in every Black History Month program in high
Yep.
school. Cooper, I mean, it wasn't Cooper back then, but it was Jones. You gonna sing the national anthem, the black one? Yes, I'll do it. Okay, what's next? Who's gonna be
Well,
Harriet Tubman? Who's gonna be Martin Luther King? Every year.
what about what's the name? What about Juneteenth being a holiday?
Oh yeah, it's necessary.
I mean, I get
It's already a holiday for
I
me.
don't need that, man. I need economic
Well,
status.
no. So you're talking about need. I'm not. So yeah, we don't need it. But I mean, sometimes I think about it like this. You know, the kids, they get off for Columbus Day. Now they want to say it's for staff development or whatever. They get off. They have all these dates that they honor. So no, we don't need it. You can continue to work if you want to, and some jobs may not honor it. I don't get certain days that other people at the post office and banks get off, but I still think it needs to be acknowledged. You know, so we have to celebrate everybody else's freedom, celebrate our freedom.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm fine with that for every other culture as well. You know, it's not just about us. If we have, this is a diverse country, I think we should all be represented, and everybody should have a day where
Every
we
holiday,
celebrate.
Cinco de Mayo, we need that day off too. Damn it, I
As
want
Yeah,
all
as
the days off.
as diverse as this country is, it is not progressive. It is not a progressive country. It's like,
not as progressive as they would like to admit,
well,
of
not as,
course.
exactly. It's like, I don't know. It's like stuck right in the middle. You know what I'm saying? It's not moving forward the way it should be. I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe once all the racists die off, we'll be better off.
Hopefully,
Hopefully, but they
it's a
grooming
lot of
another
them.
breed.
It's a
They
lot
are,
of
but I don't feel like those are going to be around. I feel like they'll all get confused one day and just like kill each other. I don't think that it'll, because there's a movement happening with black youth and Latino youth and white youth, and they're all coming together and saying, look, we're sick of this shit. We're sick of the parents and the grandparents fighting over, whatever you're fighting for. It's stupid. We need to all come together. And it's not even just fighting for black issues. They're fighting for their own freedoms as well. They're fighting for free to be who they are. They're the transgender people and the LGBTQIA, LMNOP, whoever they are. They're fighting for that too. So it's not even just Black lives. They're fighting for themselves, and they're coming together to make sure that the next generation is able to be free and be who they are. They don't want to be stifled. They care about mental health. They care about taking care of others. Like they're empathetic because that's what they're taught. So, I mean, I think that things will change. Maybe not tomorrow, but they definitely will. They definitely will change.
And I believe that too. I mean, when you look at this country, you still have a lot of places that are like overwhelmingly white, but white people are not going to be the majority in the very near future in this country.
Very near.
Like it's already evident in many big cities, and like if Texas wasn't so big, Texas would probably be majority if it's not already. I don't even know, because Texas is so large, but like the demographic of people in this country is changing so rapidly. And older white people, they see that. Young white people don't care. But older white people see that, and they're trying to hold on what they feel is theirs, which is why you have so many older people in politics making these decisions, pushing for certain things to be a certain way. They don't want to see this change. They know it's coming. They see it's coming. I mean, but like Regina's right. It's not. It's these young people. The difference in the 60s, like when we were fighting as black people, the difference is you still had white kids who were sheltered with their parents. They weren't going to black school. I mean, they weren't going to school with black kids. It wasn't the population of Hispanic people was not as large as it is now. It was still a big segregation. And then when things started to change, after the civil rights movement, it's like it was a big stopgap. We had the civil rights movement and then nothing. And then people thought we was moving forward. But white people still had a hold of their kids and how they raised them and put the beliefs into them. And you couldn't talk to black men. White women couldn't talk to black men. White men couldn't talk to black women, but in secret. Of course, they wanted to, but it was in secret. They didn't want us mixing and be stuff like that. And then you get to this time now where it mimics what happened in the civil rights movement. But everybody sees it. You can't shelter your kids from it. It's everywhere. And the kids see it's wrong. They see it's wrong. That's why it's such a huge movement, because you can't shelter people who know right from wrong. And you can't shelter them from what's going on right now. It's everywhere. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons why everything was magnified, on top of the fact that it was a pandemic and nobody had nothing else to do but sit at home.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is going to change. Regina, you're absolutely right. We probably we may not see it in our lifetime, or we may be old when we start to really see the remnants of it. But it is a shift.
It is. Generation Z, like you said, they're bold. They're free. open-minded, and if it's not in their generation, it will definitely be in their kids, because they'll be raising those kids differently.
Absolutely. I feel that strongly. So I'm bracing myself for it, because I know that I'm going to see some things that I'm like, what the hell? What is that? What?
Yeah.
Within my day, like I feel like soon I'm going to be saying that back in my day, and I don't want to get to that point. So I'm trying to be open-minded and embrace, just loving each other and taking care of each other, and not, not just being tolerant of people and their lifestyles, but really trying to understand it and accept, right? Because I feel like if you're just tolerating me, you're not really accepting who I am or anything about me, my culture, my lifestyle, my, whatever. You don't have to like me, but tolerant.
Accept that I'm here. Accept that I'm here and I take up space.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, I guess if I have to, but really accepting somebody and trying to understand. I think that's what's missing right now in a lot of the older generation, is that they're not even trying to understand. They're just like, this is what I was taught and that's it. There ain't no other. And that's unfortunate.
Those are the same people that did the true cultural appropriation of black people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they took everything. They never gave anything back. Then they lied to us and told us that we weren't working hard enough and all of that type of stuff. All the while they was, utilizing all of our ideas and efforts and stuff like that or whatever. So yeah, it's been a travesty.
Yeah. So are we ready to talk about the upcoming presidential election, which should have been over, but it's not over, and we're in limbo, purgatory.
This is ridiculous.
That's what it is.
This is ridiculous. Like,
what's the name already said this was gonna happen? Bernie Sanders.
Bernie
did say it, but it kind of had to happen. I mean, a lot of people chose to vote by mail because of COVID. They did not want to stand in line. I wish they would have just gotten in line, but I mean, it's very understandable, especially with everything going on. So, I mean, just like I've had to change the way I work, my company's changed the way we work, so does the country. And for everyone to act like, oh my gosh, this has never happened. Well, yeah, pandemic has never happened. So there's always mail-in votes, not to this magnitude, but we also have to understand why.
He's filed
lawsuits.
Lawsuits against Michigan and another state.
Wyoming, was it, or Wisconsin?
Wisconsin. I know he filed for Pennsylvania to stop counting votes, but I think that was shot down. He's preparing for something in Georgia. And
why is he trying to stop it? I think he said something like there was no Republicans looking at the ballots or some stupid stuff like that or whatever.
Yeah, and that's not true. There's a Republican and a Democrat looking at the ballots in the ballot center, but he wants to stop it because the night of the election, he was ahead everywhere because Republicans knew to go to the polls.
They voted on the day of,
Yeah. Now, a lot of, and then even those that voted early in a lot of states, even if it was by mail, they couldn't count those votes till 7 p.m. when the polls closed.
Of course, he wants to stop counting the votes. Just think about this for a second. Who was the person talking about voting by mail was a fraud and that it shouldn't be used? That was President Trump. Yeah. So why would his base vote by mail? They wouldn't, because they're listening to him. So who are the majority of those votes going to that were by mail? Biden. So he doesn't want those votes counted. He doesn't want those votes counted because he knows that the majority of those votes are not his.
Right.
His people, they already been counted for the most part.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, and it's so slim. It's like some of the states is as slim as just a couple thousand voters.
Like Georgia.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he wants it. I think it's funny though that he up until now has always voted by mail. Him and his family, they've always used absentee ballots to vote. Yep. They've never gone to the polls really. And so now all of a sudden if something doesn't jive with him at the moment, he doesn't care what he said 5 minutes ago. He'll switch it up and be like, I never said that. What I said was, and it'll be something totally different.
Yeah,
so
he just said it's fake votes. He said fake votes today. Dead people are voting.
I'm over him. I'm so ready for this to be over and done, so I can quit arguing with Trump supporters on Facebook or the news stations or really anywhere. I just want to gloat for a little bit and be like, your friend is gone now. Go wherever he is.
Right.
And part of me thinks that if he doesn't want to lose, because I feel like indictments will come soon after, and I hope that's what happens. So
lock him up.
I'm just like, I'm chilling right now.
He ain't going to jail, man.
I want him to. I want something. I want him to go to jail, and I want bad things to happen to him when he gets there.
Yeah, he may not go to jail, but I do think they're going to come after him and make it very difficult. He is going to be served papers. There's some indictments that are going to happen. Now, whether he actually serves time, I don't believe that, but I do believe he's not going to enjoy this vacation. But I do think what's happening in Arizona, well, what will happen in Arizona is very funny. It's very telling, because that is typically a red state. And, he went after, John McCain, so they're all flipping on him. So and then, and Cindy McCain came out in support of Biden because he's the better candidate, and also because she has a relationship with him in regards to they've been close friends for many years. So I think it's really hilarious. It's karma at its best unfolding.
I'm ready. Yeah. I want to see it unfold. Lord, please let me stick around long enough to see it all unfold.
And Fox News. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. What did Fox News say? Because I'm always interested in the tomfoolery that is Fox News. They
came out and said that Fox, they predicted that Trump will be declared the winner by as early as Friday morning. And I'm like,
tomorrow?
They're still at it. Yes, they're still at it. I can't believe that they're still at it. Like, they should just kind of like shut down for right now. Come back when everything's over with. Because all they're doing is, I don't even understand the purpose. It's not like people can still go out and vote. Why are you giving these people who are supporting Trump false hope? Like, what is it doing? How are you helping? You're not helping them. Everything is done. The votes are in. We can see what's happening. But they still talking and saying idiotic stuff. It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, because they're at the polling locations, demanding, damn near trying to get in, and tear everything up. So Fox knows what they're doing. They're trying to incite, what the inevitable is. So
utterly insane. I cannot. It's crazy. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. I do know that they're talking about, they're trying to steal it. They're trying to steal it. It's crazy. They're just trying to steal it. And I'm like, girl, nobody's stealing anything. They're counting. Do you know how to count? That's what happens in elections. They count the votes, and then the Electoral College does what they do, and then it's over with. So what are you talking about? They're trying to steal it.
Prove it. Prove that they're trying to steal it or whatever. I mean, we know that George Bush, baby Bush, he got in there 2 times by them stealing it. You know what I'm saying? And how are we talking about somebody stealing an election, but we're going to just negate voter suppression like it doesn't exist, and we see it like right in our faces?
Oh, Trump talked about voter suppression today, and he used those words. He says what's going on to him is voter suppression, and it's never happened before.
Does he know the definition of voter suppression? Does he know what it is?
Don't matter, Gina. He can say whatever.
He's going to say everything under the sun. He's gonna say everything to try to, and at this point it's just sad. I mean, it really is, because everything you sound like a baby, a big ass baby who's whining and trying to save their ass from getting a big ass whooping that they know is coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
That's coming. How
he's grasping for straws at the very last moment. And I mean, the states he doesn't have any control over the states counting them. He can file as many lawsuits as he wants. Each state is its own sovereign entity. He doesn't get to tell them what to do. He thinks he does. Who told him that? Who told him that he had that
He
power?
thinks he does. He's on the phone every hour calling the governors of each state. So
and that's why he got Amy Comey in there, because they want to try to bring it to a federal judge, a Supreme Court vote. That's what.
yeah, that's what he wants. That is what he wants. And that's what he said.
I mean, he can do that if he wants to. I know that he can demand a recount, but it's only within a certain, it was like 0.25% they'll recount. But if it's like 1% or more, he has to pay for the recount himself. And a lot of states aren't going for it because he still owes them money from rallies he held 4 years ago. So they're not going to, they don't have to do what he says. I don't know why he thinks that. It's all playing out now, and it's pretty funny to me. I think we'll have like the Trump's greatest hits later on, and it'll be like a comedy reel, and we'll all get to watch and laugh and eat popcorn. And at his
did y'all see the?
Oh, go ahead, Ebony.
No, I was just gonna say, did y'all see the gate that he had put around the White House? Even though there's
I heard about it.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
He says to keep us out, keep the crazy left out from their destruction and all of that. But
who's coming?
Like
nobody's coming.
I'm like,
I've only heard reports of Trump supporters causing disruptions in certain places around the country. No reports have there's really no reports. Not really. There's just no reports of anybody supporting Biden causing disruptions. But he's again trying to create a narrative to make people think something is happening that is not happening. Oh, I'm in danger. I'm not safe. Let me put an extra gate up.
I mean, if he walks out alone, he probably won't be safe.
It's crickets at the White House.
Who paid for the
Nobody is checking for him. We're sitting back in the cut like, let the counting continue. And then once it's done.
I don't think he's gonna leave. I think he's doing that on purpose. I don't
think
he's gonna leave.
And get the National Guard in there to drag his ass out.
Because if Biden lost, we were just gonna complain. Like nobody was gonna go and take their guns and
these people on a different time though. You know what I'm saying? I don't like neither party, but that's what I really hate about the Democrats is that they just sit up here and watch these people do this stuff and they don't react, and they just all point fingers and cry.
I want us to be stronger. Well, I don't want to say us, but I did vote that way. But I want us to be a little bolder, but I don't want to be them though.
Hey, it is what it is. If somebody, I don't believe in turning the other cheek. I'm gonna turn.
Well, I don't either.
Because you hit me, so I gotta turn, but I'm gonna turn right back around and knock the shit out your ass.
Right?
I believe
in
strategizing. I believe in strategizing. I will turn the other cheek if I can see the bigger picture to get what it is that's more necessary than me getting my revenge or my pride being hurt. I don't mind turning the other cheek when I can see the bigger picture. Like, and I think, and I'm not saying that's what Democrats do, but I do think there's some strategy in not falling for the okie doke.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to respond to stupidity or respond to threats or respond to somebody being boisterous, but sometimes that can backfire on you. So I don't think it's wrong to do it. I just also think that there's strategy around when you do it and how you do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
That's how you are at work. Like we'll do something and you'll wait. And then, out of nowhere, the whole school will get a video of you like doing something from the surveillance camera that you didn't know that was out there, and everybody can see your crime.
You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow.
You know what? You got it coming. We ain't done yet. You're not done yet.
I remember when I first moved to H-Town, man, the teachers was going ham. They was bringing dogs up to the school because teachers was having drugs and stuff in their cars. It was going down. Yeah.
Dogs. Damn.
That happened before. I'm not gonna
at
say
our
where.
School?
Not on the air.
Damn. I mean, we just do petty stuff like, plant speakers in the ceiling and just randomly play music.
So they've been running practical jokes on me for like every year. It's like the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah, but I got them back last year though. Yeah, but anyway,
kind of. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see all of this play out. I'm sitting back and I don't feel anxious anymore. I sleep okay at night. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some stuff's probably going to go down, but with Trump and the White House, and they might have to get the National Guard to come and get him out. But that won't affect me. It'll be a nice thing to watch.
This is the pre-finale of 2020.
Yeah, I want the whole revolution to be televised.
Mm-hmm. I want to, if they do have to do that, I hope like citizens can enlist, because I want to be a part of the.
You want to help? Let's go get him.
Stop resisting. Oh, he's got a gun.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Hey, that should be hilarious.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait. I want him and his whole family to go down, and his idiot Beavis and Butthead sons too. They're the stupidest.
Oh my God!
Like what?
Retarded looking ass boys.
Because they're fighting for his love. They just are stupid because he don't care about them.
Yes, I'm like they're tweeting out and posting stuff that is not even true. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. They can't see that this doesn't make sense. The numbers don't even add up. And then, they're trying to steal this. But you just posted something that was entirely false. I can't. I'm ready for it to be done. I'm sick of the whole family.
Wait, you know what? I bet you, man, we're going to have some more Trumps in office. Watch.
Oh, of course.
I mean, they didn't create this lane. They're not going nowhere.
No, and it's going to be in that office because when you look at the numbers, it's not overwhelmingly that America disagrees with Trump. We are split. That's the more scary thing, that people felt empowered enough to say it doesn't matter what he does, because everybody's like, oh, I don't want Biden's tax plan, but you don't make the amount where the tax plan affects you. Mm-hmm. What you do care about is you put everything above about Black Lives Matter, about the LGBTQ community, women's rights. So whatever your moral compass or whatever you're saying, abortion or whatever you want to hang on and pretend like you care about, you choose to, turn your blind eye to everything else. So for him, because I see a lot of people say, I'm voting for policy over personality. What policies? Because I don't agree with any policies that this man has put in place.
Oh, they look good on face value, but when you start reading, it's like none of them hold weight to a feather. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. None of his policy.
It's also just a cop out. It's a cop out and a bullshit answer. That's a way to respond without making somebody. That's a way to respond without me or you to look at that person and think, oh, okay, well, you're probably a racist. You probably agree with all the other stuff that you're not going to talk about. You just want to talk about the policies and use that as a shield to why you want to vote for Trump. But the truth of the matter is you really don't care about police reform. You really don't care about Black Lives Matter. You really don't care about changing systems so it's not systemic racism. You really don't care about that shit either. But you're just going to talk about the policy. That's what I believe. I believe for a lot of people, it's a goddamn cop-out answer when they say
definitely a cop-out, because they can't even name a policy. Exactly. All they say is what he repeats. Oh, he's done so much for Blacks. That's what they keep saying. I don't hear anything about what he's done for Asians, and one time he said Mexicans. But what about all the other demographics?
But what has he done for you, white folks? He ain't done nothing for white folks, rich white people.
Yeah, he empowered them. He empowered the ones that don't have the money, and the ones that's rich, they got breaks.
Yeah.
That's all they want, is to feel more important. Yep. It's like, that's all it is to feel like they're superior. And he did that.
That boy Dave Chappelle gonna be on Saturday Night Live this weekend.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait either, because I normally just watch Saturday Night Live sporadically, old episodes. I don't catch it live, but I might have to catch this one live. I want to see what that boy gonna do.
Is he hosting?
He's hosting, he's hosting it. He hosted Saturday Night Live 4 years ago, right after Trump won, and he said some bullshit. And then he came back later, and he was like, he said bullshit. He even said that himself. What he said was this: it was in the time, It's not an argument. That's his opinion about his own words.
Exactly, but that's not a good argument to use somebody's words against them to validate your opinion.
I'm not using his words.
That's what I do with Trump every day.
That's what I do. That's exactly what you said.
You are who you say you are.
If I thought it was bullshit at the time, then I'm not changing my rhetoric. And it's like that's what everybody does when they argue. They take pieces of what they believe. But anyways, what he basically was saying, like, we should give Trump a chance. That's basically what he said when Trump won. You know, he didn't agree with Trump winning, but he was like, we should give him a chance, blah, blah, blah. This was like fresh off the heels. And then like a couple years later when he started doing his stand-ups on Netflix, he was like, I shouldn't have said that shit.
Yeah, in hindsight, you definitely shouldn't have said it, but what was wrong with him saying that? I mean, we don't have a choice but to see.
It's not a right or wrong, but I think it was bullshit at the time simply because I felt like Trump being in office was bullshit from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I never had trust or faith in that dude. So I thought it was bullshit from the beginning.
I feel that, but you know, we have no choice but to see what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? That was the only option. The reason why you can't use somebody's opinion, you know, to validate is because that's just another opinion to throw in the bucket or whatnot. If LeBron come out and say that, hey, Jordan is the greatest, I'm not as great as Jordan, I'm not gonna side with LeBron now. Oh, you know what, LeBron said it, so now it's the truth or whatever. That's his opinion.
Probably if you agree with the opinion, you might use it. He agreed that Dave Chappelle said some BS, and then it validated it when Dave Chappelle said it about his own self. So,
but there are people that also will change their opinion if the person says something like about themselves, and then they reflect, and then they change their opinion about what they said. Well, there are people that will say, "Well, you know, I see what he's saying. I agree, and he said it, so why should I not?" You know,
you should be able to do that with anybody saying the same thing. Then don't be a robot sheep.
Well,
be your own person.
I mean, I don't even know how that fits into this, but I don't think it's that's not what that is.
Know exactly how it fits into it.
No, that's not what that is.
But anyways, anyway, guys,
you know, it's only effective. It only a big deal if it affects you as an individual. Dave Chappelle, he can believe what he wants. I thought that shit was bullshit from the beginning, and I'm sure you thought it was bullshit too.
I did. I didn't think what Dave Chappelle said was bullshit. I thought Trump being president was bullshit, but I didn't think what Dave Chappelle said was bullshit.
Did you give him a chance?
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
I didn't give him nothing. It just is what it is.
Did you in your head, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul say, I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm not gonna shit on him like everybody else. I'm gonna give him a chance and see what he's talking about. Did you do that? Did you have that conversation with yourself?
I didn't have a conversation beforehand. I didn't start shitting on him until he started lying and lying.
Okay.
I feel you.
He was lying when he got elected.
Right. He was lying before that. So, I mean, he's a liar. Before he was elected, somebody did the calculation and was like, oh, he lies. Like, he tells one lie every 6 minutes or something like that on average.
Then it turned to 30 seconds.
Yeah, he lies a lot. He was lying
Beats
before he got
records.
elected. So, I mean, most politicians do, but he was over the top. His lies were over the top, and they still are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. I'm just let's see how long it takes for them to come up with a winner, and then watch the fallout.
So they're still counting in Georgia. I really thought he had Georgia. Georgia's, I think, at like 0.1% or something.
Yeah, it's really close. Now.
So we definitely want to give a shout out to Mayor Keisha and Stacey Abrams, because the momentum that they have in that state, and they have kept their eyes on the prize, no matter what's been going on. I mean, they faced so many lawsuits due to COVID, and I still believe Stacey Abrams had her position stolen from her when she was running. But I think those ladies really pushed the momentum forward and engaged and encouraged others and minorities to go out and vote.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, to be commended.
Good stuff.
In light of in the spirit of the great Dave Chappelle, it's time for us to wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
It is. Let's wrap it up.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in. This has been another great episode of Acoustic Chef. We still need y'all to like, share, subscribe, and continue the conversation. Peace out.
Peace out.
Deuces.
Till next time.